welcome back to American Arms Channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Drake. We are here today in Ord, Nebraska at 308 Precision Armory, taking a look at some firearms, and particularly we're going to do a burn down on a very quality priced 2011 made in the United States of America, not Turkey or anywhere else. I'm here with owner Dustin. This is a fantastic place, guys. There is coffee. There is a boutique. You can come in and get your woman something really nice, something fancy. She's going to love it. And you can come on back here and get anything your heart desires, whether it's shotguns, rifles, SBRs. You can transfer machine guns. He's got suppressors, everything you need, including ammunition, of course. And there is a dog in the corner that you can just pet and love on if she'll let you. But anyways, I just want to put that out there, guys, because this is sponsored content by 308. Dustin is a friend, and he's a fantastic guy, and his family are excellent. So you want to check them out. I've got their www down below. But without further ado, what are we taking a look at? What am I burning down this weekend?
So today I recommended to Drake Great Lakes Firearms and Ammunition, family-owned company out of Michigan. They build a fantastic product. They build AR-10s, crazy calibers, 300 mag, 7 PRC, 243, but pretty much anything you can think of. 30-06, they've got it. They released a double stack 1911, so 2011, not long ago, and fit and finish is right up there with the best of them. And I was excited for Drake to try it out and give me some feedback. So,
yeah. And full disclosure, guys, this review, this initial burn down, we're not doing a long-term review, but we are going to put 1,000 rounds through this gun. We're going to see what kind of accuracy we can get out of bulk ammunition. But disclosure here, I did get this at pretty much cost from Dustin, and he did donate the Hollow Sun to the channel for testing. Not the product manufacturers, but this is sponsored content for 308, but they deserve your business because they're great folks. I came in here and bought my first suppressor and made, I think, a lifelong friend with Dustin. He's not too far away from where I live in central Nebraska. Here in Ord, Nebraska, beautiful place to visit, camp, come and shop, obviously, and get some great coffee as well.
come hang out.
Absolutely. He'll talk your ear off. He's a real talker.
Yeah, right.
Just joking with you. I'm the talker.
Yeah.
He's gotten sick of me today for sure. Anyways, guys, let's get right into it. Burn this sucker down and see how she does. All right, we're out here at the range with the Great Lakes 1911 DS. We've got that Ronin EPS carry in green. I stuck my TLR1 HL by Streamlight on there just as kind of a counterweight and to feel it out. It's a 9mm 1911. It shouldn't take too much. It's got a lot of nice features, but you do not have a rear sight when you mount an optic unless your optic comes with a small rear sight or a forward mounted rear sight plate like this one does. The standard plate that comes on the gun is really just a placeholder. It's a very simple rear sight notch. It is not textured or anything. It's pretty high gloss. It seems to be an aluminum. It's okay, but it's definitely a placeholder, and it's probably one of the parts that makes this gun more cost effective overall. Seems to be a Series 70 government model pattern slide with a bull barrel bushingless design and a full-length guide rod. Ambidextrous safety, skeletonized hammer. That trigger pull is pretty dang nice, but nothing out of the box that's too crazy. I would say that you could adjust that. There is a set screw in there, but overall, nice feature sets. And you've also got an extended slide release and mag funnel, so it feels amazing in the hand. We have 3 magazines loaded up, 20 rounds each. Got the Maglula to help us out. 1,000 rounds here of this Remington UMC 115 grain full metal jacket. So let's get it on paper downrange and then just start plinking targets and see how she holds up and how many rounds we can get downrange in this first session. 5 yards. She chambered just fine on that first mag. Let's see here. Am I on paper? Following sight-in of the optic and getting to know the handgun a little bit, I began to progress with the burn down. Now, this burn down was not intended to cause the pistol to break or to get it so hot that we would experience any sort of crazy malfunctions, but it was just to see what it could do in a hard day's use. Since this style of pistol is more oriented towards competition shooting and heavy training regimen, I wanted to get an indication for whether or not it would survive. and it did very well. There were no rough edges and there were no pain points as far as using the pistol in the first 500 rounds, but after that it did start to get a little bit raw in the hand, and that's probably because I don't shoot 1,000 rounds in a day out of a centerfire handgun that often. Now, just prior to the 500 round mark, we did start to experience a couple malfunctions. This would happen 3 times total in the 2017-2020 rounds that were fired in this range session. Those malfunctions centered around failures to extract, causing double feed. Now, it could have been the Remington ammunition, but I will note that the handgun was extremely hot following 120 to 200 plus round strings. While I only had 320 round magazines, I was reloading them fairly quick as they're actually really easy to stuff full of ammunition. By hand, the Maglula actually made things harder. And so I was able to get rounds downrange with rapid succession, and it did cause some of these problems, I believe. But a bulletproof extractor from Wilson Combat or Ed Brown or some form of upgraded extractor may also prevent these issues on cartridge cases that, like the Remingtons, might not have the most pronounced rim or be of the most consistent quality. This was bulk ammunition after all. The next failures that were experienced were well past the 1,000 round mark, and again, the handgun was very hot. You can see here this 124 grain SIG V-Crown hollow point ammunition caused a stovepipe on the last round. And then we inexplicably had this very fantastic premature ejection from the magazine into a vertical stovepipe of a live cartridge. And once remediated, it began to feed and operate appropriately. Something to note, it wasn't a perfect run, but even with those failures, it still was less, half of a percentage of failure out of 1,017 to 1,020 rounds. Somewhere in there, I didn't get an exact count on the rounds. But overall, the handgun just functions beautifully. Its feeding is extremely smooth, and once you get to know it, it's very easy to take that target ammunition and land it on target at 7 to 15 or even 20 yards in extremely rapid succession, and the handgun does seem to be fairly accurate for what it is. We are talking about an American-made 2011 pattern design a la Staccato and others that is coming in well under $1,000. That's a pretty high value, and if you're purchasing this gun, you're probably purchasing it from the mindset that it is a fantastic performer for the price point in being American-made. Yes, you can purchase Turkish-made options in the same format for much less. And I'm saying $150 to $400 less at times. But you may run into the same exact problems. That might be a value proposition for you on the Turkish manufactured side, but if you want an American manufactured side that gives you a great base pistol, that is something to consider. Now, from what my research, I can see that 2011s can have a hit or miss with magazines. The Checkmate magazines that are provided with this firearm are actually very nice quality and don't seem to have any manufacturer defects. However, I did know a couple of times where failure to lock back was experienced, where my hand was not depressing the slide release tab, and sometimes we had rounds just fall out of the magazine because the Remingtons were not long enough. This is a 9mm/38 Super Mag, and just because I could, I stuffed 10mm in it to see if it would fit in it, and it does, just barely. So longer is better when it comes to loaded ammunition for these magazines, and will most likely prevent that round jump when we're moving halfway through the magazine and making the firearm safe, or maybe going to something like a Metgar, an STI/Staccato pattern magazine, or something else. But standard 2011 magazines do fit in this firearm. And the ones that came with it, well, they do feed very reliably, as the only malfunction was with that SIG ammunition. While I wish that those malfunctions were the only criticisms I have of the handgun in the initial 1,000+ rounds, there are a few other. As we can see here, there is some gritty reset, and that is due to some flashing and rough cutting on the lower grip module of the pistol. Ultimately, this is a quality control issue for GLFA, and I would say they need to spend another $25 to $100 in labor to make sure these guns are going out the door completely squared away. This is a QA/QC problem, not a manufacturing issue. It was very easy for me to rectify this with a needle file, a little bit of low and high grit sandpaper, and just blowing the excess away. Having those issues inside the frame module where the trigger interfaces between itself and the frame, as well as where the trigger bar rides, provides for not the absolute best experience. Yes, it is not metal on metal, it's metal on polymer. However, if you smooth that polymer out and you give it a nice crisp trigger pull, as well as giving the user the ability to set the over travel for the reset of the trigger, you're going to come away with a win on a pistol like this. So this is really just a small item that if Great Lakes can figure it out and get this nailed down, and I'm saying this is worth paying an extra $25 to $100 on the price tag, because everything else on the pistol seems to be fantastic. It's still a high value at that price point, being an American-made 2011 patterned gun. Now, the feature set of the pistol is excellent, and the magwell funnel is an aluminum component. It fits very well to the lower grip module, and frankly, it is super easy to funnel those magazines up into it. The lightning cuts on the slide are not only aesthetically pleasing, but also give you some good grip texture when racking it from the front. However, the slide racking texture for the rear of the pistol isn't actually that great and leaves something to be desired, although aesthetically pleasing. With less passes, I'm sure it's more cost effective than having a finer, more aggressive texture, but if I could pick and choose, I would have that on this handgun. Overall though, the handgun is extremely handsome and it shoots really well. We'll have to do accuracy testing in the future, but the barrel, the 416 stainless barrel, seems to be of very high quality and an excellent choice for both cost effectiveness and accuracy. Overall, I found the 1911 DS by Great Lakes to be a pretty fantastic value and might be of consideration if you're looking for something more cost-effective that'll get you into the 2011 style pistol, and maybe something for competition if you're just dabbling your toes. No, this is not a staccato. This is not a high-end Dan Wesson. This is not even really a CZ Shadow 2 level quality of gun, but it's pretty dang good, and it gives you a baseline which you can upgrade from if you're not willing to spend that $2,000 to $3,000 for just the handgun. But what the Great Lakes 1911 DS does afford you is the ability to purchase a handgun, a low to mid-tier optic, and 1,000 to 1,500 rounds of ammunition, and walk out the door of your gun shop for under $1,500 potentially. This gets you to the range and gets you training with a really nice, great feeling handgun that runs like a sewing machine and is actually upgradable. You can change components on it to your heart's content. It has a lot of standard features and brings a lot of value for an American-made 2011 pattern pistol. This is not the last time that you will see the 1911 DS on American Arms channel, and we'll update you in the future as round counts increase and I probably put some upgraded components into it. So stay tuned for that. If you're looking for this handgun or something like it, make sure you give Dustin a call at 308 Precision Armory, visit him in person in Ord, Nebraska, or take a look at their online store at Armory 308. As always, guys, God bless, keep your powder dry. I'll see you in the next video.